Marietta College. $1,200 of your closest friends across 100 acres. This is home.
Coming up today on WCMO NewsCenter 15, Cesar Chavez accused of sexually abusing labor rights leader Dolores Huerta and others.
And firefighters are battling wildfires in western and central Nebraska.
Stay with us. Those stories and more coming up on WCMO NewsCenter 15. Hello and welcome to today's edition of WCMO NewsCenter 15. I'm Lee.
And I'm Juliana. Topping our news today.
Jay Allen is a fan of President Donald Trump and voted for him on the belief that the Republican could cut taxes and trim regulations, helping his manufacturing business in Northeast Arkansas. But the tariffs at the core of Trump's economic agenda have wreaked havoc on his company. Allen Engineering Corp., which makes industrial equipment used to install, finish, and pave concrete. The import taxes have raised the cost of engines, steel, gearboxes, and clutches made abroad that Allen needs to build power tools that can sell up for $100,000 each.
Israel killed Iran's intelligence minister as it kept up its campaign against the Islamic Republic's top leadership and reportedly attacked an Iranian offshore natural gas field. Wednesday, as the war escalated pressure on the region's economic lifeblood, energy. Iran condemned the strike on its massive South Pars natural gas field, with Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian warning of uncontrollable consequences that engulf the entire world. Iran kept up attacks on its Persian Gulf neighbors' energy faculties, striking a major natural gas facility in Qatar, as it continued to squeeze the Strait of Hormuz shipping channel, through which 1/5 of the world's oil travels. I wonder what the weather looks like.
Landon is here with the current conditions. What's going on outside right now, Landon?
Well, Lee, right now it's pretty calm outside. We've had a bit of a downpour of rain and a unexpected snowfall earlier at the beginning of this week, but right now it feels like 46 degrees outside, and there's going to be a little rainfall, not very much. UV index is rather low with a level of 1. Air quality is excellent with a level of 9, and as a result of the rain, the pollen count is rather low. The winds will be running around the south-southeast about 3 miles per hour. The humidity is roughly 16% degrees, 15% barometric pressure outside. The sun rose about 5 after 7 this morning and should be setting about 6 after 7:30 this evening. If you were here in the Mid-Ohio Valley during Marietta College's spring break this past week, then you would have experienced a bit of a teeter-totter going back and forth of extreme warmth, mild temperatures, and extreme cold. Like I said, we had snow earlier at the beginning of this week. And as we get closer to this upcoming weekend and coincidentally the first day of spring, which is tomorrow, we're going to be in for, as to be expected with spring, a bit of a wet and rainy weekend. But we'll go into a bit more detail on that when I return later on in the program for the 5-day forecast. Until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Labor rights activist Dolores Huerta revealed that she was among women and girls who say they were sexually abused by Cesar Chavez, the widely admired Latino icon who brought to light the struggles of farmhands while leading the United Farm Workers Union. The stunning allegations against Chavez, who died more than 3 decades ago, drew immediate calls to alter memorials honoring the man who in the 1960s helped secure better wages and working conditions for farm workers and has been long revered by many Democratic leaders in the U.S. In a statement released Wednesday, Huerta said she stayed silent for 60 years out of concern that her words would hurt the farm worker movement.
A coalition of firefighters and volunteers entered their 7th day Wednesday of battling wildfires in western and central Nebraska, including one that is the largest in state history that have scorched a massive area of range and grassland and killing 1 person. 4 separate fires have burned around 1,300 square miles larger than Rhode Island. The largest of the fires, dubbed the Morrill County Fire, covers parts of 5 counties and stretches more than 80 miles from around Bridgeport in the Nebraska Panhandle east to Lake Ogalla. It has burned about 1,005 square miles, making it the largest wildfire in Nebraska history.
Coming up, a suspected meteor fell over the Cleveland area.
And a man was shot in the face with a crossbow.
All this and more after the break.
At Marietta College, teamwork goes beyond athletics. At Marietta, we promote individuality, creativity, and resilience. Whoever you are, wherever you're from, we are Pio Nation. This is the time, this is the place. We are pioneers. We are Marietta College.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
I think it goes around.
Let's go. We gotta get you in practice.
And it's set!
The Colorectal Cancer Alliance wants you to know a lot of things in life are preventable. Colon cancer is common and deadly, but that's also preventable. The Alliance is doing its part to end colorectal cancer. Now do yours. Get involved. And if you're 45 or older, talk to your doctor about the colon cancer screening options available to you. Go to colorectalcancer.org to learn more. Oh boy.
Yeah!
A suspected meteor that fell over the Cleveland area on Tuesday shook homes and startled residents who heard a boom that some compare to an explosion. People hundreds of miles away reported seeing the bright fireball even though it was 9 in the morning. The American Meteor Society that said it received reports from Wisconsin all the way to Maryland. Astronomer Carl Herbinger estimated that Tuesday's fireball might have been the size of a softball or a basketball, or perhaps even larger, and that it would have hit the atmosphere at tens of miles per second.
A search for a man began this week after another man was shot in the face with a crossbow. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office said. Deputies said the incident happened in the 200 block of Lighting Lane in the Kenna area of Jackson County. The victim was taken to the hospital, but his condition is unknown now. Investigators said they are looking for Chase Fleming, age 35, who is from the Kenna area. They said the search is underway in Jackson, Roane, and Kenna counties.
Oil prices resumed their rise on Tuesday because of the war with Iran, but U.S. stocks held steadier this time around. The S&P 500 rose 0.2% and adds to its gain from the day before, which was its biggest since the war began. The Dow Jones Industrial Average climbed 46 points, or 0.1%, and the NASDAQ Composite rose 0.5%. The rise for a barrel of benchmark, the U.S. crude rose 2.9% to Seattle at $96.21. Brent crude, the international standard, climbed 3.2% to $103.42, but they paired even bigger gains from earlier in the morning, and they are either roughly where they are to be at the end of last week or below.
An Elkins doctor was sentenced for tax fraud that totaled nearly $2.5 million and for attempting to obstruct the investigation, according to the U.S. Attorney. Nitesh Ratnakar was sentenced to 41 months in prison for 41 counts of tax fraud and 1 count of obstruction. According to officials, Ratnakar owned and operated a gastroenterology practice and medical equipment manufacturer in Elkins, where he withheld payroll taxes from its employees' paychecks and failed to make payments to the IRS. False tax returns from 2020, 2021, and 2022 were found, as were false documents to be provided during the investigation, according to officials.
Coming up, Greece launches an animal airlift to evacuate pets from their owners from the Mideast.
And a man is arrested after climbing into Pygmy hippo enclosure at Thai Zoo.
And with winter officially coming to an end, we're in for a wet and rainy start for the season of spring. More on that with your 5-day forecast after the break. Stay with us.
Mo. This Movember, the moustache is calling once more. Raise funds, save lives. Sign up at Movember.com.
There's a place for everyone at Marietta College. Our place is here as esports competitors. This is Marietta College Esports.
Dozens of dogs and cats arrived in Athens on Wednesday with their owners aboard a special evacuation flight for Greeks with pets who were trapped by the current war in the Middle East. Emotional scenes unfolded at Athens airport as small dogs leaped for joy after being let out of their special travel carry cases. The government-organized flight carried 45 pets and 101 people. The Interior and Foreign Ministries had worked together for days so we can have this good result for the animals and people to return home safely.
A man has been arrested after he was caught climbing into an enclosure of the adorable pygmy hippo, who became a social media sensation. Zoo officials said the Thai man allegedly entered the enclosure on Tuesday evening while a keeper was away and no other visitors were around. Security footage widely shared online shows a man wearing a black beanie, sunglasses, a green tank top, and brown shorts approaching Mu Dang and her mother, Jonah, while holding a tablet, apparently recording or taking photos.
Punch, the baby orphan monkey, is outgrowing the orangutan plushie that comforted him through early rejection from his mother and other monkeys. Images of Punch dragging around the toy bigger than him drew attention to the residents of a zoo near Tokyo. When other monkeys shooed the baby away, Punch rushed back to the toy orangutan, hugging it for comfort, but he's been using the toy less. On a recent day, Punch was seen climbing the back of another monkey, sitting with adults, and sometimes getting groomed or hugged. Now, let's move on to Hollywood. We might be in spring, but for Westerno fans, winter could be coming at any second.
And a new History Channel World War II documentary series will be hosted by an American favorite.
Here's Denise with the scoop on our Hollywood Minute.
Hi, everyone. Even though warmer temperatures are here, Game of Thrones fans are cheering that winter is coming. Although plot details haven't been confirmed, the story happens even earlier than the most recent A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms series, and reportedly tells the story of the Targaryen dynasty. No word yet on when it will hit the big screen. Bowen Yang and Alan Cumming are leading a new effort to support the next generation of LGBTQ+ filmmakers. They're launching the Necessary Foundation, which will provide annual grants to emerging talent. The nonprofit will also connect them to mentors in the entertainment industry. And finally, the History Channel is taking a fresh look at World War II with a little help from a Hollywood A-lister. World War II with Tom Hanks examines the conflict through a modern lens. The 20-episode documentary series debuts appropriately enough on Memorial Day. That's all I have from Hollywood for now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Denise.
I wonder what the temperatures will look like next week.
Well, Landon is here with the details. Landon, what can we expect from Mother Nature for the rest of this week?
Well, spoiler alert, Lee, we're going to be expecting warmer temperatures going into next week, but focusing on the here and now for the moment, as you can see throughout the United States on both the West Coast and the East Coast, they're experiencing a big, sizable amount of precipitation and a heat front, pushing through our neck of the woods here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. If we take a closer look at the regional map, we can see that, like I mentioned earlier, we had a heavier rain earlier in the week and snow, and we're having some rain today, and that will be continuing on in tomorrow, but to a lesser degree. And yeah, as you can see here, things are relatively calm here in the Mid-Ohio Valley. So just going to be as a result of the aforementioned rain that's going to be coming on Friday tomorrow with an expected high of 63. Along with it is going to come another warm up as we continue on into the weekend. As you see on Saturday, the rain will continue with an expected high of 70, and it will reach peak on Sunday for our churchgoers with a respective high of 78. But then, that just as quickly as that warm front came, the rain continuing on into the work week on Monday will start cooling things down with an expected high of 62, cooling down even further on Tuesday with an expected high of 54. So even though winter is just a few hours away from being over and spring is upon us starting tomorrow, we're still at that stage where winter and spring and a little bit of summer-esque temperatures are kind of playing tug of war with each other to fight for dominance, so to speak. So we've still got a couple more weeks in the month of March to go. So if history has shown us anything, I think we know will win out. I think we know that the warm temperatures will eventually win out, but a matter of how long will it take for them to do so. But we'll talk about that in the next few weeks ahead. For now, that's your 5-day forecast. I'm Landon Santini. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon. When we come back, Zach will join us with an update from the world of sports.
See you in a few.
Let's do this! Yeah! There's something stirring up inside of me I never felt before. Doesn't it make you right now that I'm with you? Sparks are flying loose, fireworks go off in my brain.
We always support you at Girl Scouts.
When I look up the stars,
Where together, we can do big things.
everything's better with you.
Make it your year of friendship at Girl Scouts.
never chew tobacco.
I don't drink much.
Never smoked a cigarette in my life.
HPV. Isn't that about cervical cancer?
What does that have to do with oral cancer?
HPV? Didn't know that.
Thanks for staying with us. Joining us now for sports is Zach.
Tell us about it, Zach.
Thank you, guys. The WNBA has reached a landmark new collective bargaining agreement that could introduce the league's first $1 million players. But several key steps remain before the May 8th season starts. The deal still needs approval from players and the league's board of governors, followed by a fast-paced stretch of major events, including an expansion draft for new teams in Toronto and Portland around the NCAA Final Four. With over 80% of players entering free agency, teams will have limited time to navigate new contract rules and build rosters before the April 13th college draft in New York. Training camps open April 19th, leaving little time for teams, many with new coaches and significant roster turnover, to prepare, while stars like Caitlin Clark are set to headline early matchups. Next, Marietta College Pioneers women's lacrosse fell 17-6 to Washington & Jefferson's President's women's lacrosse, dropping to 4-4, but the Presidents improved to 2-2. Washington & Jefferson surged early with a 7-0 first quarter run and carried a 12-5 lead into halftime. Renee Mulvaney led Marietta with 3 goals, helping spark brief momentum, but the Presidents maintained control throughout the second half. Goalkeeper Tessa Lasbiano played all 60 minutes, while 5 saves with Elena Francis added 7 draw controls. Despite strong defensive efforts, Marietta was held scoreless in the final period as Washington & Jefferson pulled away, and the Pioneers now look ahead to opening conference play against Capital University next week. And next news, Kelsey Wismore stood at Jets Blue Park, taking in a new reality. Women from around the world training together for the upcoming Women's Pro Baseball League, the first U.S. Women's Pro League in over 70 years. The guidance from major league coaches and stars like Mona Davis and Aimim Sato sharpening their skills, the league is preparing for its August debut. Hosted by the Boston Red Sox in Fort Myers, the event highlights a historic shift in opportunity. After decades without professional pathways since the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League ended in 1954, this new league aims to create lasting opportunities for women in baseball and inspire the next generation. Next, Emma Koza, a sophomore at Marietta College, earned Ohio Athletic Conference Softball Pitcher of the Week honors after a standout spring break performance. Koza posted a 3-0 record with a 1.43 ERA across 5 appearances, helping the Pioneers to an 8-4 week in Florida. She delivered a strong 5-inning start against St. Mary's College, allowing just 2 runs, and added key relief outings against Monmouth College and St. Catherine University, closing out both wins without surrendering a run. Marietta will open conference play at home this weekend with a doubleheader against Otterbein University. That's all I have from the world of sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Back at the desk with us is Landon for a last look at the forecast.
Well, Lee, as spring officially begins tomorrow, we're going to be getting a bit of a warm front coming in throughout the weekend, along with an increasingly heavy rain pour, going from 62 tomorrow on Friday, going up to about 78 on Sunday, before temperatures start cooling down at the beginning of the work week on Monday, going down to about 54 by Tuesday. So, but either way, yeah, rain is definitely a sign that spring is just about here. And speaking of which, I couldn't help but notice the special paint job you did on your nails right there. They look very spring-esque.
Thank you. I'm manifesting spring with pink and yellow.
Oh yeah, they look make me think of Easter eggs.
Thank you. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We hope you have a great week. From all of us here at WCMO NewsCenter 15, Marietta College Broadcasting, thanks again for joining us.